Hello. This is To Hook Conversations number 31. And I want to welcome everyone. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Got a couple people coming on. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And what is in your cup? What are you drinking today? I am drinking some coffee in my Newberry Hospital mug that I got as a gift from the hospital. All right. And what is on everybody's hooks this week? So this has been my long week at the hospital. So as you know, I don't get a lot of crocheting done during my long week. Plus, it has been a busy week with some doctor's appointments. I had my MRI and stuff like that this week. So the only things that I have really worked on is I did create butterflies for that Crochet Society lace shawl cowl that I was making. I have not put it on, so I will have that ready for next week. And I have completed the pocket shawl that was supposed to go up as a tutorial this past Wednesday, and due to everything that was going on, it did not. And I really decided not to stress about it. And in doing so, I actually have a bonus that I will be able to share with you next Wednesday when it goes up. So I'm excited about that, because that now means I will have not one, not two, but 3 completed pocket shawls to actually show you. Of course, the tutorial will be shown only making one of them, but the pattern is the same, and it is a pattern that I designed. And so having the different pocket shawls to show you will show you what it looks like when the pattern is done with a bulky 5-weight yarn, and then the tutorial is done using a 4-weight medium weight yarn. And then the third one is also using a 4 medium weight yarn, but it's using it in a variegated yarn, where the one in the tutorial is showing how to do it using, a controlled colorway. And so I'm very excited, but I am going to give you a sneak peek of what the variegated one is looking like, since I gave you a sneak peek last week of what the red one was looking like. But this is what it's looking like. And it's using Craft Smart Value yarn. I get this from Michael's, and it's 244 yards, which is about 5 ounces. It is 100% acrylic, and it is in the colorway called Twilight. And as you can see from my little scale right here, or my little system that I have, I got it from Michael's in April of this year, and it was normally $3.49, and I got it on sale for $1.97, because that's the only way to buy yarn, right? Is on sale, right? All right. Then I still have a Longmire blanket on my hook, but unfortunately, because I don't want to give away the element of surprise before the tutorials come out, I cannot share it, but love it. And for those of you that are working on it, I would love to have your feedback on this past Monday. I know that that was a long segment, but a fun one. It is a time-consuming segment, but as you now know, we make triangles, and they're going in opposite direction of each other. And so it turned out to be a really, really cool section and concept for the blanket, definitely giving it depth and character. That blanket is just continuing to come to life. And so I'm really excited about that. And so, yeah, that's what's been on my hook. Now, I do have a couple other things that are on my hook that will be coming out in the next 2 weeks, and I'm very excited about that. One of them is a Christmas gift idea that you can do. I am in the process of designing something else that can be used for kids or just, with coworkers, or just a little, little small, easy gift to do that can be reused by the receiver. And so I will be excited to get those out to you. And then also coming up this week, we will have the fall giveaway. And in that giveaway, it will also reveal what item that we will be making in correspondence to that giveaway. And what that means is there is a tutorial that's coming out in lieu with that giveaway. And in the giveaway is the yarn that the winner will be able to use to make whatever we're making in that tutorial, if they so choose. If not, they can choose to do whatever they want with the yarn. They can make whatever joyful creation they want, or they may choose to give the yarn away themselves. That is their choice, because after all, they will then be the owner of that yarn. But there's some other things in the giveaway besides yarn, so they're not just getting yarn in that giveaway. But all of that will come out before next Friday. So that's what's been going on in this busy little neck of the woods over here in our joyful creation land. And I do apologize that, again, this is my busy week at the hospital, and I've had to take care of some health issues this week. So it has kind of limited what I've been able to do as far as keeping my hook busy, but that's okay, because tomorrow is another day, and next week is a short week at the hospital, and my hook will be plenty busy. So definitely tune in until next Friday, because next Friday we'll have some exciting reveals. All right. So we've been going through on our Cup to Hook conversations. I told you that I had gone on to Wikipedia and that I had Googled crocheting yarn. And so I had pulled up some kind of interesting facts. So I'm going to go ahead and share some of those facts with you today. Today we're going to look at yarn. Okay, so this is what Wikipedia had to say about yarn. And we're looking at like the different types of yarn. And the first one is on a hank. A hank of wool yarn is uncoiled into its basic loop. A tie is visible at the left, and after untying, the hank may be wound into a ball or ball suitable for crocheting. Crocheting from a normal hank directly is likely to tangle the yarn, producing snarls. And this is what they showed a picture of what a hank looks like. And then it's showing, this is what it looks like here. And then this here is showing what it looks like when you untie that little tie they're talking about. And it opens up like that. Yarn for crochet is usually sold as balls or skeins or hanks. Although it may also be wound on spools or cones, skeins and balls are generally sold with a yarn band. And a yarn band, like this would be a yarn band. Tells like, who it's by and all the weight and measurements and all that on it. Okay, all your suggested washing information. A label that describes the yarn's weight, length, dye lot, fiber content, washing instructions, suggested needle size, likely gauge, etc. It is a common practice to save the yarn band for future reference, especially if additional skeins must be purchased. Crocheters gently ensure that the yarn for a project comes from a single dye lot. The dye lot specifies a group of skeins that were dyed together and thus have precisely the same color skeins from different dye lots. Even if very similar in color, they are usually slightly different and may produce a visible stripe when added onto an existing work. If insufficient yarn of a single dye lot is bought to complete a project, additional skeins of the same dye lot can sometimes be obtained from other yarn stores or online. So in other words, it's just saying that, let's say I bought, 6 skeins of this, but my project called for 7. I can go get another skein, but the actual dyeing of the yarn may be a little bit different because all of these 6 skeins were dyed together. So the dye was controlled in a certain way on these. Whereas when I got this one, the extra one, the dye, even though it's the same colors, the processing might be a little bit different. The amount of dye per color going through it might be more or less than when it was done in this batch. So that's what it's saying. It can slightly be off a little bit. And sometimes it does make itself more visible in a work. Sometimes you can't even tell the difference. So my philosophy is always get a little more than what I need. And if I didn't need it all, well then A, I can save it for another project, or B, you'll like this answer better, I can give it away. The thickness or weight of the yarn is a significant factor in determining how many stitches and rows are required to cover a given area for a given stitch pattern. This is also termed as gauge. I've had a lot of people ask me about what gauge is. And so some of the questions I've gotten has actually what prompted me to go onto Wikipedia and actually do this. Thicker yarns generally require large diameter crochet hooks, whereas thinner yarns may be crocheted with thick or thin hooks. Hence, thicker yarns generally require fewer stitches and therefore less time to work up a given project. The recommended gauge for a given ball of yarn can be found on the label that surrounds the skein when buying in stores. Patterns and motifs are coarser with thicker yarns and produce bolder visual effects, whereas thinner yarns are best for refined or delicate pattern work. Yarns are standardly grouped by thickness into 6 categories: superfine, fine, light, medium, bulky, and super bulky. And I actually have a video tutorial that I did on a Fun Day Monday segment that actually has a visual that breaks down those different weights. So definitely go check that out. And I'll try to make a note and come back and actually try and include that link in the description box below. All right. Let me just jot myself a note here. Quantitatively, thickness is measured by the number of wraps per inch. The related weight per unit length is usually measured in text, or it says denier, D-E-N-I-E-R. All right. Before using skanks, trying to say skeins and hanks together. Sorry about that. Before using hanks or skeins that are wound into balls in which the yarn emerges from the center, and that's how I pull mine. I pull mine coming out the center. Making crocheting easier by preventing the yarn from becoming easily tangled. The winding process may be performed by hand or done with a ball winder, and I've also done a tutorial on using my ball winder. A yarn's usefulness is judged by several factors, such as its loft, which is the ability to trap air. I learned a lot reading this, by the way. I hope you do too. Its resilience. Resilience is the elasticity under tension. Its washability and color fastness. Its hand, and hand means its feel, particularly in softness or scratchiness. Its durability against abrasion. Its resistance to pilling. Its hairiness, which means the fuzzy, if it's got a lot of fuzz to it. and its tendency to twist or untwist, its overall weight and drape, its blocking and felting qualities, its comfort, and under comfort, it's got breathability, moisture absorption, and its appearance, which includes its color, sheen, smoothness, and ornamental features. Other factors include allergency, the allergens in it, the speed of drying, the resistance to chemicals, moth and mildew, melting point, flammability, retention of static electricity, and the propensity to accept dyes. Desirable properties may vary from different projects, so there is no one best yarn. All right. Then they have what's called twist yarn, and this is the example that it gave of it right there. Not really a very detailed one, but it says there's two possible twists of yarn. Although crochet may be done with ribbons, metal wire, or more exotic filaments, most yarns are made by spinning fibers. In spinning, the fibers are twisted so that the yarns resist breaking under tension. The twisting may be done in either direction, resulting in either a Z twist or an S twist. And when I look at that, the only difference I'm seeing is like in this S one here, it looks like it's going down at a slant that way. And on the Z, it looks like the slant's going this way. So let's see what it says. If the fibers are first aligned by combing them and the spinner uses a worsted type drafting method, such as a short forward draw, the yarn is smoother and it's called a worsted by contrast. If the fibers are carded but not combed and the spinner uses a wooling drafting method, such as the long backward draw, the yarn is fuzzier and it's called woolen spun. The fibers making up a yarn may be continuous filament fibers such as silk and many synthetics, or they may be staples, which says fibers of an average length, typically a few inches. Naturally, filament fibers are sometimes cut up into staples before spinning. The strength of the spun yarn against breaking is determined by the amount of twist. I apologize. So I got some people saying, hello, Denasia. Let's see. I love that yarn. It's so pretty. Oh, yes. Isn't that pretty? It's even prettier when you see it made up. And Deborah's saying, hello, Denasia. Denasia says, hi, Deborah. Deborah says, weird. I seem to be lagging. Oh, I hope not. Hey, Mimi. Mimi says, hello, Cynthia, and hello, everyone. Hi, Denny. And Denny says, hi, Mimi, Grandma. And Deborah says, cooking dinner, so I'll be in and out, but listening in. So, yum, yum, Deborah. I'm going to try and catch dinner between this live and the movie night. Denny says, Mimi, your socks are so beautiful. Ooh, I'll have to go see those. I'm behind on my videos this week, Mimi. All right, Mimi socks, so I'll go look. Thanks, Denny, for sharing that. Mimi says heart, and Mimi says thank you, Denny, and Mimi says love it. All right. So we were at all right, the strength of the spun yarn against breaking is determined by the amount of twist, the length of the fibers, and the thickness of the yarn. In general, yarns become stronger with more twist, which is called worst. So that's where our worsted comes from. Longer fibers and thicker yarns, for example, and that's our worst. And then you have your thinner yarns require more twist than do thicker yarns to resist breaking under tension. The thickness of the yarn may vary along its length. A slub is a much thicker section in which a mass of fibers is incorporated into the yarn. Some of this I feel like is whoosh. And then some of it has me going, aha, I get it. The spun fibers are generally divided into animal fibers, plant, and synthetic fibers. These fiber types are chemically different, corresponding to proteins, carbohydrates, and synthetic polymers, respectively. Animal fibers include silk, but generally are long hairs of animals such as sheep, wool, goat, angora or cashmere, under goat, rabbit, llama, alpaca, dog, cat, camel, yak, and muskox. Who knew? Plant use for fibers include cotton, flax for linen, bamboo, ramie, hemp, jute, nettle, raffia, yucca, coconut husk, banana trees, soy, and corn. Wow, that was interesting. Rayon fibers are also produced from the cellulose mainly derived from trees. Common synthetic fibers include acrylics, polyesters such as Dacron and Ingeo, nylon, and other polyamides. Of these types, wool is generally favored for crochet, chiefly owing to its superior elasticity, warmth, and sometimes felting. However, wool is generally less convenient to clean, and some people are allergic to it. It is also common to blend different fibers in the yarn. Example, like 85% alpaca and 15% silk. Even with the type of fiber, there can be a great variety in the length and thickness of the fibers. For example, merino wool and Egyptian cotton are favored because they produce exceptionally long, thin, fine fibers for their type. A single spun yarn may be crocheted as it is, or braided or plied with another, implying two or more yarns are spun together, almost always in the opposite sense from which they were spun individually. So if they were spun individually, then they're spun the opposite. And that is what creates our Z and our S twist. So let's see. Implying two or more yarns are spun together, almost always in the opposite sense from which they were spun individually. For example, the two Z twist yarns are usually plied with an S twist. Well, that was confusing. The two Z twist yarns are usually plied with an S twist. The opposing twist relieves some of the yarn's tendency to curl up and produces a thicker, balanced yarn. Plied yarns may themselves be plied together, producing cabled yarns or multi-standard yarns. Sometimes the yarns being plied are fed at different rates so that one yarn loop around the other, as in bucle, B-O-U-C-L-E. The single yarns may be dyed separately before plying or afterwards to give a uniform look. All right. So that's on our yarn fiber. And that's our little crochet history lesson for the day. All right. So as we got more people coming on, what's in your cup? What's on your hooks today? Denny says, Mimi, you and Kim are making me happy about knitted saka. I tell you what, Kim really always seems to have something on her hook at all times. She is busy, busy. Mimi says, awesome. Mimi says, hugs. All right. So the next thing we have is our question for the day. And I actually kind of have two. So the first one is, what are you thankful for the most? So we have Thanksgiving coming up. So this month, you know, we think a lot about what we're thankful for. We should be thankful for everything every day. But as this month goes on, what are you thankful for the most? And Mimi says, I'm making crochet slipper socks for family and knitting Mad Mimi socks and Christmas stockings, busy, busy. Yes, Mimi, you know you're on my list to call. Might be the first of next year when I start actually trying to knit my Christmas stockings. So because next Christmas, I definitely want my new grandbaby to have a Christmas stocking from me. Mimi says, family and friends, love. Jen says, hi, Cynthia and everyone. Hello, Jen. So glad to have you. Hope you've had a good week. Mimi says, awesome. And whoop, whoop. Yes, yes, I will need lots of help and advice, I'm sure. But I am up for the challenge, Mimi, and I am fully confident that even though my first one may not look like a Christmas stocking, I'm going to give it my best effort, my best shot. It's trial and error, right? You never know until you try. And you can't make something unless you try. Mimi says, hi, Jen. Jen says, been busy. Mimi says, great, so happy. All right. Jen says, hi, Mimi. So what is everybody most thankful for? I actually had started making a list because I was going to do a daily blog every day and just take like 5 minutes to come on every day and just kind of say what I was thankful for, and, you know, even give examples of whatever I said, maybe even definitions, etc., etc. But unfortunately, with the medical end of things, it took all the free time that I had during this busy week at the hospital, so it didn't happen. So I actually have it scheduled to do next year, and I'm really excited about that, and I know that's a year away. But some of the things that I had written down that I am thankful for, first and foremost, is my relationship with God. Like, I just don't know where I'd be without that. Having the hope that he gives me every day, and the strength and the lessons that he teaches me, the love, the forgiveness, the mercy, the grace. I could go on and on forever. My husband, I'm very, very thankful for him. He is not only my soulmate, but he's my best friend. He's my biggest cheerleader. He's there to make me laugh, which sometimes is more than I care to. Sometimes he makes me laugh so hard I wet myself. And then sometimes, you know, he's just that fresh breath of air at the beginning of every day and at the end of every day. My boys, I'm so thankful for my boys. They bring me so much joy. Mimi says it's easier than you think. I hope so, Mimi, because I really, really want to successfully make Christmas stockings for not only my new grandbaby, but all of my children and their, you know, their families as they grow. Jen says, hi, Mimi. Jen says she's thankful for family. And Mimi says, laugh out loud. I'm thankful for my soon-to-be granddaughter that will be here, you know, before we know it. Yes, Mimi, they do become heirlooms. Mimi says they become heirlooms. I have, and I've shown them once on one of my Cup to Hook chats at the beginning of the year when I was doing my kind of, you know, list of what I wanted to do in 2020 that I'd never made before. My aunt had made Christmas stockings for me and my husband and each of my boys. And we have those. And so I do have those to give to each of my boys, but I now want to start their families with ones that I've made. So it might be ones that I've made with a little touch of Mimi love in there, because I'm going to need some help, I'm sure. Denise says, hi, Jen. Mimi says, great, congrats. Carrie the Yarny Elephant, hello. Welcome, welcome. You're not too late, my friend. We just kind of had a crochet history lesson. Jen says, hi, Denisha. Denisha says, Carrie, hi, honey. Carrie says, hi, Jen. Hi, it's Chris. Hello, Chris. Hugs to you. We prayed for you today on the Bible study, so hope you get to go check that out. Carrie says, hi, Denny. Jen says, hi, Carrie. Carrie says, hi, Chris. Jen says, hi, Chris. And guys, Also, I put that I'm thankful for my dogs, both the one that my husband and I rescued and our grand dog that we were keeping for my Marine son. I couldn't leave you guys off the list. I've got my subscribers, my favorite sub. You know, that's why I do what I do on Saturdays, is so I can just sit there and just constantly thank everybody over and over, you know, and I will keep going till everybody's name is up there, and then we'll start it over, because I just constantly want y'all to know how much joy you bring me. And then my friends that, you know, I have here in South Carolina with me, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, all of my grandparents have passed. There's just so much. My job, I mean, the right to vote. There's just so much. Like, I don't even know that I could list one and, you know, fit it all in the month of November. Like, I think it would take, you know, a lot. And the thing is I honestly every day could probably find something that I'm thankful for. Chris says thanks so much because we prayed for her today. And she says she's thankful for her family. Mimi says that's what I did. That's what I did. Made one for my sons, daughter-in-laws, and all grandchildren, sister, brothers, nieces, and nephews. That's what I'd like to do, you know, because like you said, it's an heirloom and it's a legacy that, you know, hopefully I might be able to pass on to, you know, maybe one of my sons or my daughter-in-laws or my grandbabies will take up one day, as follow my footsteps and become a yarn addict like me. Mimi says, hello, Carrie. Carrie says, hi, Kathy. Chris says, you bring us so much joy also. Oh, thank you, Chris. So you can keep telling me what you're thankful for. And another question I have that I wanted to bring up today, and I know we normally only do one question, but we had time change. So the time changed since we were last together. And so the question is, fall forward or fall backwards or no time change? What is your favorite? Do you like it when we fall forward in the fall, or excuse me, in the spring, and we have a little bit of extra daylight? Or do you like it when we fall backwards in the fall and we lose that extra hour of daylight? Or would you prefer no time change at all? And let's see. Chris says, one Thanksgiving dinner, I had all go around the table and say what they were thankful for, and we were all crying. Oh, how sweet. I love that idea. That's awesome. Chris says, no time change. Mimi says, fall back, more sleep. And Chris says, fall, you have to get up so early. Yes, yes. It's hard for me to say, because if I had to pick, I would like for it not to change. But I would like it where we have the extra hour of daylight. And the reason being for me is because when I leave to go to work now, it's dark. And when I come out of work, it's dark. So unless I'm on a day off, I don't ever see daylight. And that's kind of sad, because I'm very much a bright, sunshiny kind of person. I love the outdoors. And so I would miss not seeing the sun. But that's just my opinion. I got a call from my Marine son today, and we were talking, and we only had a brief conversation. And I was like, well, this should be your lunch hour. Well, it turns out they didn't have time change. So now instead of being 3 hours difference from me, he's only 2 hours different. And so now I got to program this old brain to compute that. Carrie says, I'm working on my Phoenix blanket. Ooh, I cannot wait till you and Dana have those done. I am so excited. I've thoroughly, Carrie, enjoyed watching y'all. Make them, talk about them. The competition between y'all is just so adorable. Chris says, does your son get to come home for the holidays? Well, oh, you weren't, Carrie? She says, I wasn't in the war. I thought you were. Well, that's all right. You gals are still making a beautiful, beautiful masterpiece. When did y'all start that, Carrie? How long have y'all been working on that Phoenix blanket? Oh, they're done. Oh, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how Dana does half of what she does. That is one busy lady. Oh, wait. I know how she gets it done. How can I forget? Dooley takes the wheel and he drives and she sits in the back and crochets. She's told us that. Chris says, Mad Mimi was in the war. Hers is beautiful. Oh, I would love to see them. Are y'all going to, have you put videos out? Like I said, I'm behind right now, way behind. Because I would love to go over to your channels and see those blankets. I mean, they're just, to me, those are heirlooms. Those are beautiful. Carrie says, I started October 19th. I love Laura, so gorgeous. And Chris says, yes, laugh out loud. Mimi says, laugh out loud. Okay, Cynthia. Chris says, Mad Minnie put out a video. Well, then I'm going to go, Mad Minnie put out a video. I'm going to go check that out. It'd be cool if somehow y'all could put a video together of all of them. That would be really pretty. You gals are so, so talented. So, Chris, you asked about my son, and as a matter of fact, he told me something today, and I was going to wait till next Friday to share because I want to make sure that it's really happening. But he said that he is actually flying home on November 21st. So he will get here in the morning, and I was scheduled to work that night. So I have already called the boss up and said, hey, I need help. I need some coverage. So she is working on getting someone to help cover for me that night so I can go to the airport and see him come in. And then, of course, you know, their time home is so short. And he is actually driving back to Arizona so he can take a vehicle back with him. And so because of that, he has to, I guess because it's military, he has to literally plot out a course. And I'm not going to go into major detail on this, but, and he has to turn that in before he leaves. So they know what time he's leaving, you know, South Carolina, and what time he's arriving in Arizona. And then he has to plot out where he plans on stopping for, you know, gas, food, bathroom, all that kind of stuff. And so I guess it's just a security check thing. But anyway, and he's allotted himself 3 days to do that in because, you know, anything can happen, flat tires, you know, vehicle problems, because he definitely doesn't want to get in trouble for not returning on time. So that cuts his visit even shorter. So in order to see everybody, the days that he has that he will be able to spend with me are actually the 25th and 26th. So again, I was working the 25th. So I am also threw that date into my boss to see if she could help me find coverage for that day so that I could have that day with him. And so I'll have the 25th and 26th. And then the 27th and 28th, my husband and I will be traveling to Florida to go pick up some baby things from some family members for my son, my oldest son, and his wife, and expecting little girl. So yeah, so it's going to be a busy couple weeks coming up, but we do get to see him. So he was supposed to be coming home closer towards Christmas, but he said that the sooner they could get their time off in, the greater chance that they would have of being able to come home. And of course, with everybody wanting to try and go home and see family, you know, you had to kind of get it when you could. So I am thankful and blessed that we're going to get to see him. And so I'm excited. So yes, Chris. Chris says, so glad he's coming. Oh, Carrie, I'm sorry, said it's alive. Okay. Well, I will go look that up. Now, Carrie, is that live on your channel? Sorry, I have to write my notes because if I don't, I'll forget. Crazy brain. Chris says the link didn't work, but that's the reveal of her blanket. I'm not sure what you meant by the link didn't work. But speaking of that, I am going to go to you and turn you blue. Carrie, you're not blue either, so let me turn you blue. That sounds so funny. Let me turn you blue. Doot, 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 doot. All right. Hopefully that's working. All right. Deborah says service is pretty strict about their personal. Yes, they really are. And travel. Yes, they are. Chris says that's the link for the live, but I'm not a moderator. It didn't work. Okay. Well, hopefully you're blue now and you can do that. All right. Laura is alive. All right. Thank you, Carrie. I will definitely go look that up. Oh, and there's the link there. Sweet. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that link. Jen says, sorry I had to step away, but I'm back again. Oh, welcome back, Jen. Carrie says, I'm blue. Yay. Chris says, right back, Jen. Oh, welcome back, Jen. Sorry. Carrie says, welcome back, Jen. And Chris says, that's the video for the live. Did it work? Some of y'all have to check it. I'm afraid to check it myself because I'm afraid I'll lose you guys. Chris says, you're welcome. Deborah says, we have totally had no rain or monsoons at all this summer. It is raining right now. Wow. Thankful for rain. Oh, wow. Yes. See, that's my point, Deborah. There's something we can find in every day to be thankful for. Today, I was thankful for the phone call from my son. Carrie says it's funny. Chris says, I'm loving the Longmire blanket. Oh, I'm so glad because I briefly went through my comments and I saw what you said about having to start part of it or all of it over or something. I was going to ask you about that, you know, during movie night, but feel free to talk to me about it. I'm so sorry that happened. Carrie said, yes, it worked. Good. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that link. Oh, it's good now. That's good. Chris says her blanket's good now. Carrie says, I can't wait to start it. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. Y'all, Carrie is going to make my blanket. She's going to make the Longmire blanket. I feel so honored. Oh, my gosh. Deborah says, in Arizona desert. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right, Deborah. That's right. You're yeah. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I've been awake about 20 minutes. The brain is still turning on. Chris says, I've learned things from you that I didn't get before. Oh, that makes me feel so good, Chris. And I know that this last segment was extremely long. But in the beginning, when we started the Longmire blanket, I had said that I would, do the tutorial, and then I would do a separate one showing how to do it. But to be honest, with my schedule at the hospital, and I know I seem to say that a lot, but, I work 12, 13-hour shifts when I work. And during my long week, I only have 2 nights off. And one is Wednesday night, and then my Friday nights. And Friday nights, I don't consider them kind of being off because, I'm doing my lives and stuff. So I really try to focus that one night during that week on, letting my husband feel like he actually has a wife, somebody else living in the house with him. But so yeah, it was just easier to do it in that tutorial. But and I know that I did several sections over and over in a sense, but I just wanted to make it where everyone could be successful because, I want it to be fun. So, and I figured if you got it, then you could always fast forward. So, and then I do know that I'm trying to plan when we start like the midwife blanket for Call the Midwife, that when I'm going through those tutorials, I'm going to try to do it where I actually create a timeline so that if you get a section, you can know exactly where to fast forward to. But I don't have that organization. I'm a very organized person, but I don't have that. I don't want to say time because it makes it sound like I'm not taking the time for y'all, but I don't have enough time in the day to quite get there yet, but I'm working on it. Chris says, be right back, phone call. Okay. Deborah says, I love this blanket. Oh, I'm so glad. Jen says, Chris, me too. I am so glad, ladies. And Jen says, I love it too. I am so glad. So answer my question. In the end, was it easier not knowing what you were making, or did it make it more frustrating? Was it easier just to do the process and watch the picture appear, or would it have been easier? Because I know, like when some people do puzzles, for example, some have to have the picture of the box sitting up so they see what they're building, in the puzzle. And then others like the element of surprise, so to speak. So give me your opinion so I know better how to accommodate going forward. I thought that it would be fun kind of watching it appear. And then I thought that it would be easier if you didn't necessarily know what you were creating, so that, because sometimes we psych ourselves out. I can't do that. I will not be able to do that. But then if we're doing it process by process, then maybe we'll give ourselves more credit. So I'd like to know what your feel was on that. It will be very, very helpful going forward. All right. So we've talked about what we're thankful for. We've talked about the time change and what is on our hook, what is in our cups. And now it's time to read off our Saturday shout out names. Y'all, I love this little envelope that I got from Crochet Society. It's meant to keep patterns that you're working on in so that you can just tuck them down into your, whip bag. But I use them to keep the little shout out names in. So anyway, that little clicking is kind of loud. I apologize for that. All right. So grab our little shout out box, and y'all know what today is too, right? We also get to pick a name for October. And Miss Evelyn Oxner was our September subscriber shout out winner. and she already has received her little love gift from me. I have mailed out a few of the Women of Joy stuff, by the way. I still haven't heard from everyone. So if you're a winner or you knew who one of the winners were, please, please reach out to them. Because if I don't hear from them in the next couple weeks, then probably the time we meet before Thanksgiving, I will have to redraw names. So we'll give them a couple more weeks to try and get in touch with me because they won. I want them to get the gifts. So, but for some of you, I've already gotten the information and your gifts are on their way. And for others of you, I'm just now getting them and I will be getting them out next week. And again, I'm still getting caught up on my emails, you guys. I'm normally not this bad, but like I said, unfortunately, most of my free time this week has been tied up in doctor's appointments. And what I'm not also telling you, and I'm just going to mention it briefly, and I didn't even put it in as a prayer request on the Bible chats, and maybe I should have. I had a bad reaction to the medicine that they put me on, and it caused my blood sugar and my blood pressure to go up really, really high. So I spent a lot of time just kind of in bed. And the worst thing is yeah, somewhere between Monday and Tuesday, I temporarily lost my eyesight. And that was really scary. So, yeah. But it's coming back. It's almost back to where it should be. And the medicine is out of my system. I quit taking it. And I follow up with the doctor on that next week. I had some blood work done yesterday just to try and make sure that I'm getting back to where I need to be with my diabetes and that my sugar level is coming back down because I was doing so good. Like I've had no problems for 3 years. I've been diagnosed. It'll be 3 years this coming February 13th. And I have been like great. And then, you know, this pain on my left side started and they did the MRI and they put me on an anti-inflammatory, and apparently my body did not like it. And so it shot my sugar up, shot my blood pressure up, and temporarily took my eyesight. So it's been kind of a crazy week, but yet I'm getting my eyesight back. I'm not taking the medicine anymore. My sugars and my blood pressure are coming down. So all I can say is I'm thankful. I'm a thankful girl. I'm blessed. So, but anyway, Laurel Beaverland. So everybody else that I've been getting addresses from for the Women of Joy stuff, your stuff will be going out the first of this week. And those of you, I've already sent them out. I will try to go on and send you a little email telling you that they're on the way. And then same thing for those of you, when I mail yours, I will do the same. I'll tell you another reason why I'm behind on my emails in just a minute. Karen Nelson. Lucy Stamp. Jeannie Luganbill. Amy Kuhn. Again, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Gracie Canales. Gracie was one of our Women of Joy winners. Jane Pendergast. Love the way Jane spells her name. Mary Dimmons. And then these were our two podcasters. It was Knit, Pearl, and Squirrel with Granny D. Granny D! And I heard her pronounce her name, and I was pronouncing it wrong, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I just know I am. She subscribed to my channel in August of this year, and she's a new channel like me. Oh God, I was trying to say Michelle shall appear, but that's not it. I was trying to make it really fancy. How does she pronounce it? Schlepper? I still think I'm saying it wrong. But guys, go check them out. I know a lot of you are familiar with Granny D. Go give Granny D and Michelle lots of love and encouragement. You know, throw some yarn in their window if you haven't already, which of course means subscribe to their channel. Give them some thumbs up. Give them some comments. Leave them some love. Give them lots of yarny hugs. All right. We're going to draw our name in just a second. Let me see what we got going on here. Yes, it is, Jen. It's the first Friday. Woohoo! And Deborah says, I like watching and then making notes to follow. I go back when I need more clarification. Got you. She's talking about the Longmire blanket. Jen says, whoop, whoop. Jen says, I hate the trial and error of medicines. I know, right? Jen says, God is good. And he really, really is. He really, really is. Carrie says, what are you mailing out? I'm lost. So I had a giveaway, Carrie. I went to a Women of Joy conference about 3 weeks ago now. 4 weeks ago. Might have been a month ago. Yeah, it was the very beginning of October. And while I was there, I made a video of my trip so that I could come back and share with everyone. And in it, I had 13 items that I had gotten from the Women of Joy conference, and I did a giveaway. And so last Friday, we drew the names for those 13 gifts. And so those 13 winners, I've been trying to get their gifts out to them as they provide me their addresses. So, but, and if you weren't on here at the beginning, by the end of next week, before we come back together Friday, there will be another giveaway posted on my channel for fall. So definitely be watching and check that out. And so if you haven't done so already, please throw some yarn in my window and select the all notifications so you don't miss those notifications. And I would love some thummies. Chris says, I'm members of theirs. Oh, super, Chris. I got what you're saying. She's saying that she has subscribed to both of their channels. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Jen says, is it Schlepper? I think that is it. Yes, I think it is Michelle Schlepper. 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 Guys, she's just a great gal. Just go check her channel out. She pronounces her name for you. I don't want to slaughter anything about her because she is amazing. Carrie says, oh, cool. And Chris says, I won the bookmark. Yes, there were 8 bookmarks, 3 CDs, and 2 bags. So I did get an extra CD of Natalie Grant. And I have been listening to that, which, you know, it only takes me 2 minutes to get to work. So for 2 minutes, I get to hear Natalie Grant going to work and coming home. Unless I go get coffee afterwards, which technically I don't really listen to Natalie Grant coming on the way home because I'm usually listening to Ginger Yarn Geek on her morning podcast on my way home from work. Jen says, laugh out loud. I'm sure she'll understand. Yes. Jen says, me too. Yeah, I have people that my maiden name is Herod, Herod, like in the Bible. And I've had people always, you know, excuse me, call me Herod. You know, it's just crazy all the different things that they can come up with. And I would always say, no, it's Herod, like in the Bible, but no relation. Until one day I had someone tell me they didn't read the Bible, and I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't say that anymore. Oh, I know, Jen. I love Ginger. I love Ginger. So let me tell you part of the reason I'm behind on my emails, and then I'm going to draw a name and we're going to close out for today. So I told you about how we had that big shutdown that happened at the hospital, and I was able to help with, you know, like the downtime stuff and whatnot. Well, anyway, Jen says, keep saying it. What? That Ginger's great? I love Ginger. I think that's what you're referring to. I'm telling y'all, if y'all are not a part of her podcast in the mornings, please go check her out. It's so much fun. Oh, I see what you're saying about Herod. Okay. That it's Herod like in the Bible. Yes. So we had that big shutdown where we lost our internet and our capabilities of answering phones and some of our electronics and whatnot. And I've not been told that it was part of this, but I've been told that over 400 hospitals in the United States had cyber attacks. Don't know if it had anything to do with the election or if it was, you know, necessarily a terrorist attack, but they've been hacked. So because of that, the hospital has tightened up the security at our hospital, which I fully and completely understand. However, what does that mean for me? It means that means no longer in my downtime can I check my personal email at work or watch Netflix. And so that also includes, you know, being able to work on my channel. Now, I can get YouTube on the work computer and I can watch videos, but I cannot, you know, do anything directly on my channel like I used to could. And now I can use my hotspot and I can do all that stuff. But I want to save my hotspots so that, you know, I can kind of still be able to do, I can't do live videos on my phone yet because I'm not, you know, monetized, but I still use my hotspot sometimes to pull things up. And so I just have to watch my data, which my husband was telling me that we have unlimited. So even if I reach my amount, I still will have it. It just will slow things down. So if I fully grasp that and understand that correctly, then that will resolve this issue and I'll just use it and do it until it's slow like dial up. Because I think that's how he explained it to me. Is that what you said to me?
If you use your data up and it slows down.
Yes. Okay. So he's saying yes. So, okay. So I made a problem that I didn't need to have. So I'm going to start using my hotspot. Oh, wait. No, I know what it was. Did you try it? I did try it. And it says that our phones don't have that hotspot capability.
Oh, okay. I'm not trying that phone. No.
So that was my downfall.
Okay.
So maybe I do have a problem and can only do it at home. But hey. And then so once I get out in the parking lot though, and I don't know if there's because the hospital blocks it, but once I get out in the parking lot, I can usually jump on and use that data by, you know, taking the Wi-Fi off. And that's how I get on to Ginger. So I usually catch the last few minutes. So, but anyway, but today I did find out that I could pull her up on the work computer, but you know, so. Let's see. Jen says she's on so early. Oh, bummer. Yeah. So, but you know what? We just make things happen. So, like always, I'm going to find that joy in every day, no matter what it takes. All right. I know this little clinging gets loud, but shake up our names. And let's see who our October subscriber winner is. I'm going to mix them up a little bit. You ready? Hey, Todd, you want to come draw a name?
Got a piece of cheese all over me now. Got cheddar cheese on my hands.
All right, so my husband drew a name. Let's see who he drew. Dun, 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 dun. Jen says, pick me, pick me. And it is Elaine Brown. So Elaine Brown, if you are watching or you catch the replay, you'll have to email me your address information. If I don't hear from Elaine by next Friday, then I will draw someone else. So let's take a look real quick at Miss Elaine. So Miss Elaine was actually one of my early on subscribers, and she subscribed to my channel on June 26th of this year. So she's been with me for a while. So if y'all know Elaine, tell her she's a winner. And Miss Elaine, get me your information. And y'all, I love y'all's notebook. I just keep y'all right here with me. So, and if not, well then we'll draw someone else next Friday. Oh, y'all are so sweet telling Elaine. Jen says, yay, Elaine Brown. Mimi says, congrats, Elaine. So, all right. So next week, you guys, please come back and join me. I'm so excited. We will have so much more to show you. And, oh yeah, that baby blanket I was working on. I apologize. I didn't have that because I did get a lot more done on it. And who knows, maybe I'll have that completed next Friday, I hope. And we'll have, again, the pocket shawls. We'll have the fall stuff. So I'm excited. All right. Well, I will see some of you in just a little bit for movie night. And I have done the research on the stuff that I said I would. So I have all that to show in just a little bit. And I'm excited. So I will see you very soon. And I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. I hope you can come join us again at 9 for movie night. And if you're not watching Longmire, just come hang out with us and have fun. And yeah, I will see y'all next week. I've got some more surprise videos coming out next week. I don't want to tell you just yet, but next week is going to be a great week. I'm going to make up for not getting a lot out this past week. So anyway, I love you guys. Be good. Stay joyful. Make your own joyful creations. Be crafty, and I will see you either in a minute or next week. I love you. Oh, hey, Christy, real quick, y'all. Everyone tell Christy hello. So, yes, please come back and catch the replay, Christy. And if you're not busy, come join us at 9 o'clock, which is in about 47 minutes for movie night. All right. And Chris says, love you. Jen says, thank you, Cynthia. Chris has heart. Carrie says, night all. Chris says, night all. Carrie says, bye, sweetie. Jen says, hi, Christy. Christy says, hi, everyone. Christy says, will do. All right. I love you guys. See you soon.